Greetings, everyone. Thank you for joining us. We are gathered here now in the middle of the Kerbal Space Center field, at the monolith, to celebrate the life of Bartman Kerman, a proud and courageous pilot whose time with us was too short, at just 232 days. Although the very few missions Bartman went on were short, they were significant, furthering our reach into the stars and helping us to achieve a better understanding of our solar system here at home. Bartman was popular around the KSC for his sense of humor, his dedication to precision in training, and his love of pyrotechnics. It is this very love of explosions that makes us all believe and feel comfortable that he went out in his own way. The Kerbal way. Explosions. He leaves behind his wife of 4 years, Bart May, and one son, Bartman Jr. May his presence here at the monolith be a constant reminder that no amount of preparation or snacks can make space a safe place to be. Rest in peace, Bartman. May your legacy live on in a future craft dedicated to you. Hey you guys, Charlie here. Welcome back to Conquering Kerbal Space Program. I've upgraded our tracking station finally, and now we can see asteroids. And that's what all these little unknown objects are. And we can see that the asteroids, we can see the different sizes. So they come in different sizes. Class B is pretty small. C is okay, medium. We've got a E, we got a huge one right here, which is probably pretty good, I would think, for mining, if we wanted to try that. Bringing them back to Kerbin is not something I've never actually went ahead and gotten an asteroid before in any playthrough. I never went for asteroids, so all the asteroid stuff is going to be pretty new to me. But I hear stories, I hear the legends of people who have taken asteroids and brought them back to have them orbit around Kerbin or have them orbit around other places if they want to. Which sounds like a pretty sweet thing. And if we take a look at... I don't think I can actually zoom in far enough to see it in the tracking station. No, it's just going to show up as a question mark. So I'd actually have to go to it to see what that's all about. But if I go back to Kerbin, we'll actually see that pretty close to Kerbin, there is an asteroid. Kind of, not so much like in the sphere of influence, but it's pretty close. I mean, there's Minmus's orbit right here. So, that's pretty close. That's not bad. Of course, it's probably passing right underneath us or whatever, so probably won't be able to go and get that. But it's a medium-sized one, which is kind of cool. I was thinking about going and getting it, but I think... I'm not sure if I can actually get that. So I'll look into that, and maybe it'll be the next episode. But this episode, we're going to be finishing our station and getting the final... Well, not finishing the station. We're not going to finish it yet. We got a couple of more things we have to put on it after this. But we're going to get the final main section for the station installed on the station. What does that look like? Well, let's go to the VAB and take a look. All right, welcome to the VAB. We got, this is what I'm calling it the Agri Zoo, because it's agricultural module, just like we sent up before, but this time we have the Zoology Bay, which is for animal research in space. So all of that kibble we sent up before, all of that stuff, that's for the Zoology Bay. And we're going to be sending it up with these rockets here. They're, pretty straightforward. It's just enough that we need. We got a fair amount of RCS thrusters to help us with maneuverability. And it's pretty much the same thing we've done before. So let's go ahead and launch it and get it up to the station. All right, here we are on the launch pad for our Agri-Zoo module, module array or module set. I'm noticing that our ceremony for Bartman Kerman that we just did took place at the monolith, and it's 2.1 kilometers away. I'm not sure if that's out of physics distance. I think 2.5 kilometers is out of the physics range. So I may have to move this because if for one, it's fine. Like one flag, it's totally fine. But if we start losing Kerbals, and we probably will lose some more throughout the course of our quest to conquer the solar system and put a base, self-sufficient and fully operational base on every single planet. If we start losing more, this is going to add up, and each one of these flags counts as a craft. And so if I wanted to see if it counts as physics distance, I could probably do a quick switch And yeah, the flag can be switched to at any time. That tells me that it's going to load every single time we get to every single time we're going to get to the launch pad, it's going to load, which is not particularly good. So I'm going to have to probably move this to be maybe like out here near the water, just so it's out of physics range. And we've time accelerated to get the station in the proper location. So it's nighttime now. I had to sit on the launch pad for a while. Thankfully, we have a lot of electric charge saved up. SAS on, thrusters all the way up, and go. And as per usual, we'll just go ahead and speed up the footage. Yeah, so this launch isn't really like anything you've never seen before or anything, so we'll just skip ahead to the good parts, which, it's all right. It's an okay rendezvous. It did go a little bit too far, but whatever. I was trying to time it to where I could eject that back engine, or the big engine, right before I achieve orbit, and then do the rest with this little engine. There's a bit of a difference in thrust to weight ratio there, so I was a little late, but, whatever. There's not a whole lot for lights on this craft, so I'm going to do pretty much everything in the daylight. And through the magic of video editing, of course, you don't have to wait for all that. Now, what I'm doing here is the reaction wheels. I was told that if I disable a bunch of reaction wheels, like having a whole bunch of reaction wheels is not a good thing for a station, which is the opposite of what I thought. I thought if the craft had more authority over its movements, that it would be more stable, and perhaps that's not true. And if that's not true, then cool. So I went ahead and I've disabled all but one of the reaction wheels, just so that it has some authority to stay upright, because that's what I was told I needed to do in order to stop the shake. Then I get my engineer out there and break down the engine part of this module, because where the engine is actually kind of where I need to dock to the station. So everything from this point on is monopropellant, which is fine. So I'm going to get myself turned around and point myself towards the station. The frame rate here is pretty abysmal as well, as per the post commentary that we're getting here today. I did have a couple of views there where I wanted to get a picture for a thumbnail, so you guys probably are seeing a pretty cool thumbnail for this one. I don't know. Maybe you like it, maybe you don't. I don't know. Then I'm going to get myself kind of off to the side of the station and then turn myself around, because I'm going to use this new little toy. This is the docking alignment indicator mod, or docking port alignment indicator mod. I've never used this before. This is the first time I've ever actually used this app and gave it an honest chance. And it's a little bit different. It doesn't quite work as I expected it to. It was a little bit confusing. I don't know why. Probably just because I have it so ingrained in my head of using the nav ball that comes with the game, using the stock, tools to do it. And so I wasn't quite sure what I needed to do. I knew I needed to get the crosshairs bit in the middle, and I knew I needed to get the velocity vector in the middle, but there's this green crosshairs that I wasn't sure what that was. And even then, the controls were a little bit different too. It was a little bit difficult to control. I'll let myself in the moment explain this a little bit better because, yeah. All right, so apparently this docking alignment indicator tool, it works backwards from what I'm used to. It's not working as expected here. The direction that this thing goes relative to the same as this thing acts, I'm used to the way this thing acts, but this is not doing the same thing, at all. So I'm a bit confused because I expect this thing to behave Jesus, this thing just flat out won't work now. I can't stop the momentum now. I'm trying to stop it, but I can't stop it. I tried to use this thing, and it's when I go left, for example, right? When I want to rotate left, this thing goes right, which is the way it's, and this is backwards. When I try to go up on the keyboard, it brings me down here, right? Up brings you down. That's the way aviation works, you go up and that brings you down in the nav ball, but this is up and down is down. So that's throwing me off, because every time I need to go higher on this, I keep going down thinking that's how that reacts, but it doesn't work that way. Maybe the settings. Maybe there's something in the settings that will do that. Yeah, invert roll direction. That's... Okay, so I have to invert some of these things, but I didn't invert any of them, so... Okay, so that's good to know. That's good to know for the future. So, apparently none of these indicators are inverted. So, but that can't be true because now I'm going left and it's going right. So, like, left and right works as it should. No, it doesn't work as it should. I don't know, guys. It's not doing what I want it to do, and it's really annoying. Let me see if I can figure this out. I'm gonna use this for now, just so I can get this at least pointing where I want, and then I'll try to see how that reacts to this. Because I have my velocity vector. Okay, so going left on this, right? I'm going right, right? I'm holding down the key to go right. Which is going right on this, right? But it's going left on this. Okay, so this is going this direction while this is going this direction. That's throwing me off. Then up and down is opposite as well. So everything about this tool is opposite of this, and I just need to kind of remember that. So that means that I need to go left now and down. I need to hold A and S to get this corrected, which is again not the same as this, but we're gonna give that a shot. So like trying to learn this new tool is kind of like I was really hoping this was going to work really well, but it's not. And now I kind of want this thing to like kill rotation, but it's not going to do that either. So now I'm really losing it. Oh, are we out of monopropellant now? Oh, come on. All right, see, I probably should have just maybe tried this out on a lighter vessel. That might have been a good idea. Trying it out on a lighter craft. But now we're out of mono propellant. So that's going to make things a little bit trickier, obviously. Unless we get our handy tug out and refuel it really quick. Which there's not a whole lot of mono left in the tug either, but there's enough, so let's go ahead and get this out. Maybe I'll just leave the tug connected. That's an idea. Because like it'll help me with rotation, which is cool. And it will make sure that I don't run out of monopropellant, which is also cool. Okay, so we're heading back this direction. And I'm gonna have to... Alright, so turning this way. Okay, good. I'm trying to use the mod again. I'm trying to use docking port alignment indicator. I'm pretty sure that... Okay, whoop, no. Okay, so this right to cancel out right, left to cancel out left, up to go up, down to go down. So, like, up and down is not canceling out, it's the opposite. Okay, so down to go down. There we go. And then if I want to go, whoop, no, cancel that out. Go back up. Up. Okay, good. Now I need to go a little bit to the left. So that means I need to hit right. There we go, a little bit up. There we go. Okay. Now if I was to go forward now, that turns the vector prograde. Nope, now it's back to being retro. Turn it back to pro. Now, to get prograde, I need to go that way. Yep. Okay, good. Line it up, down, awesome, up, over, good. Okay. So now just go forward. Yep. Turn it. Let's turn RCS off for now. Now, if this is correct, my velocity vector is right on target, as is my orientation, right? That's how that works. So I should be coming right into dock now. It looks a little crooked to me. Looks a lot crooked to me. Like, super crooked to me. Not even close to what I want to do. So that's not right either. So let's go this way. I want to cancel out some of our speed. I'm pretty sure, I don't know if I like this mod. I mean, maybe I don't understand how to read it. But, because I know, I do see, like, there's this, hold on, I need to slow down. Yeah, because it's over. I do see there's, like, this green target, almost, and I'm pretty sure that that needs to be in the center, too. So, I guess that's what I need to focus on now. So to do that, it's the same as before. Down to go down. Yep. Okay, good. Up to go up. Down to go down. And then left and right is inverse still. Yep, left and right is still inverse. Okay. Getting the hang of this, I think. Starting to merge them together. Let's go forward now. Okay. That should be right on target, right? All the indicators are right on target now, so this should be coming in now. Right? If it had some speed. I'm thinking velocity vectors are kind of what I want to use from now on. Or I'm kind of thinking the navball is still something I'm more comfortable with, but maybe this will work out okay. I don't know. I need the lights to line up, though. I know that. There we go. Got the lights to line up, and we are docked to the station with a lot of struggle there. I'm going to have to get used to that. That's weird. That's a little different, but I do like it, like to the sense that it gets my craft oriented kind of correctly so that it's not like tipped. I do like that part, but I just need to learn how to use those 3 indicators better, and learn how they act. But okay. Anyways, let's get all the monopropellant out of this, which is already is. Wow. So all the monopropellant we're using is still in the tug. Okay, that's what I wanted anyway. So let's get the tug to release. Yep. And we'll get this thing docked back to the station, which is right here. So we're just going to set this as the target and set this as the control from. And yeah, we'll just get ourselves oriented. Whoops, wrong way. In the other direction, we'll get ourselves oriented. Frame rates, joyous. Our joyous frame rates. Whoops. No. Okay, looking at the target indicator. Blip. And then, there we go. Forward a little bit. And you can see, like, I'm not in docking mode, but like I can still do sideways, you know, the movements, right? I don't need docking node. I'm using I, J, K, and L while at the same time using WASD. So I'm not even touching the mouse, right? So I don't need to touch the mouse. Nobody needs a mouse. Not when docking anyway. Not unless I want to move the camera. Which I kind of don't, so it's okay. Yeah, whatever. It's cool. I don't care. Just take me, magnet. I don't care. We'll get ourselves rotated and lock it in place. Cool. That's it. Come on, lock. Done. There we go. Okay, so take and disarm that claw. And we're still controlling from here, because that's what we do. We control from we always control from this. This is our central control point right here. Okay, so the only thing left to do with the station now, you can see our electric charge is running down, but only thing I need to do now is I need to break down this tank. I have it set to jettison, but I'm gonna just break it down instead, because material kits are nice, and we have, how many material kits do we have? We're actually almost full. Wow, I might need to send more material kit storage up here, because we're pretty much full on that, as well as there. Jeez, that was pretty good, right? That's pretty like accurate as far as how much I had to send up, because breaking down all the stuff resulted in us being like right on the money there. Get the habitation ring going. All right, sorry there, guys. I had to pause it for a second. That's what happens when you try to play Kerbal during your workday and stuff. It just doesn't really work out. You got to pause a lot. Let's take the deploy the aeroponics module on this side, and just deploy the agroponics module on this side, or at least this one. So we have 2 habitation rings, 4 agroponics modules. We've got 2 aeroponics modules from UKS. So that's going to help process the stuff that's in the agroponics module. So this one's gonna, work with this stuff. This one's gonna work with this stuff. We have habitation rings for everybody. We've got our zoology bay that's got all the food and stuff for the animals. But we've also got this thing of kibble right here. This kibble needs to get docked here onto this port. Now that's going to be a little bit of a challenge, but I live for a challenge. So just like last time, we're going to get our tug in position and grab a hold of these 4 big kibble tanks, if you will. Trying to grab it in the middle. I don't have a docking port to really necessarily align with, because there is no docking port. I thought about using the one next to it as a target, but visually I can kind of see where I am. So as long as I go slow, it's not really that big of an issue. I do tend to want to orient the tug in a very specific way so that my controls are very fluid. Now this looks pretty straightforward. It's just a little tiny thing that I need to move to the other side of the station. But remember, this is over 40 tons of weight. So moving these little tanks is about the equivalent. Well, it's more than moving one of those cyclotrons. So it's kind of a heavy little shit, if you will. That's why I'm using these engines to accelerate and decelerate back and forth, and trying to use the RCS just for general attitude control. Of course, you can see my speed. We're going very slow because I'm trying to use this mod again. I want to use this docking port alignment mod. Now, as of recording this voiceover, I know how this works now. I understand this tool a lot better as of right now, but throughout this video and the next video, I'm going to struggle with it a bit because it's a little bit difficult for me to understand. At least it was. How this works, and again, just for the future, when you hear me talk about how difficult it is, just know that this is being spoken after that one was recorded. How this works is the green crosshairs is the current location of the docking port relative to where you are. That's not what I thought it was, but that's where it is. So I don't actually want my velocity vector in the middle. I want my velocity vector on the crosshairs, which I didn't know that. At least somewhat in the crosshairs, and I can move my velocity vector to one side or the other of the middle to move the crosshairs closer to the middle. So I understand how to work that tool a lot better now. And so it'll be great. This part right here, I ran into that real quick, as you saw, and this is a really jittery video because frame rates was terrible. I wanted to try and fly directly through it, and it won't let me do it. You can't see it very well because of how fast the video sped up, but like it's just a really glitchy footage anyway. I wanted to fly right between those things, and you can't do it. The whole module, including the gaps, is interpreted as one solid piece, at least by the polygons, whatever the terms are for video game design. The unit itself, that part, it's all one piece, even though it looks like a solid, like a rotating piece with gaps. Anyway, I'll turn you back over to myself from the past now. All right, guys. So before I end this episode, I've been moving some stuff around because I wanted to kind of experiment with how the life support system works. These 10 guys currently have 282 days worth of supplies up here. Okay? And the problem I'm having with this, I went ahead and I took some of the fertilizer out of this tank. And you can see how much fertilizer I brought up. It's a ton. I took it out of this and I transferred it into this. So I filled up the fertilizer supply inside this. And I filled up the fertilizer supply in this. Just to kind of, make it all equal and whatever. The station actually does start moving again. You can see it. It's kind of starting to get shaky again. And this is with only these 2 reaction wheels on. It's still kind of starting to pull itself apart a little bit. Now, the argument on that is that probably what's happening, and you're probably right, is that I still have smartass on. I still have the kill rotation function for MechJeb on. So what I can do is, instead of using the kill rotation function, I'm going to shut MechJeb off and turn on SAS. So maybe that will work. I don't know. If I tell this to face normal, what does that do? Is MechJeb the problem, or is it something else? I don't know. I think probably just telling it to point a certain direction is probably what's wrong. So if I just say stability assist, go into time acceleration, and then come back like that, does it still do it? So MechJeb's off. The flight computer's not doing anything either. You can see this, it's doing nothing. And so does it still shake itself like crazy? I don't know. But anyway, so I'm trying to figure out the life support thing. And if you guys know how this is supposed to work, let me know. I have the fertilizer in here, so that's going to help it. The problem, though, is that we don't have any waste. We don't have enough waste. So if I say start life support, it's going to say 200% load, which is good. But agroponics are going to be inactive. And I don't know why. So then I come over here and I say start life support. Oh, I already have life support started here, right? So start life support. But the thing is, look, missing waste. Okay? Because the waste is not accumulating. Now, I don't have a whole lot of storage for regular waste. I've got a lot for wastewater, but not a whole lot for waste. But it's not accumulating, They're not pooping enough or something? I don't know. But there's 10 of them on the station. The hope is that 10 of them would be able to accumulate enough waste for me to really start to see how this works quickly. But it doesn't seem to be. See, look at it. Look at it go. See? Starting to do it again. Even with nothing else but SAS is on, right? Still doing it. So go into time acceleration. And I had to do it several times to get it to really calm down. All right, now if I do this and then just take and shut SAS off. Okay, so SAS is off now. Now the problem with that is that this station is now free to rotate however it wants, which means it won't be facing up the whole time. And that's kind of the point. I want it to face up the whole time. And so it's still rocking itself all over the place. And I don't know why. So what I'm going to have to probably do is I'm going to come out here with an engineer. I'm going to put some EVA struts. I'm going to strut this unit here to this if I can. So it's going to be like a strut going like this. And I'm going to do that to every single module here, 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 and here. And then I'm going to do it also on the bottom as well. So I'll do it to this bottom part up, and then probably to the top of this down on top of it. And that is create sort of like this prism of stability is what I'm going to refer to it as. I want my prism of stability. So we'll see how that works I mean, it's not going to get in the way of the doors or anything. I'm going to, I'll place them to where it doesn't. But that's going to be like an EVA mission to sort of, get the station wrapped up. And we have to do some work via EVA. I can hardly talk. So that's going to be kind of cool, I guess. It's kind of a nice, nifty little station mission. But because there's no waste, I don't know how the agroponics are going to grow. That's why I've got the fertilizer. So it says agroponics is inactive. Start agroponics. Oh, hang on. Maybe that's what I have to do. Okay, so start agroponics. Now it says it's got this load, but it's missing waste. Right? Extremely efficient, 250%. Awesome. But it's missing waste. How do I get the waste? Do I have to take the waste up? Because I mean, I just thought they would poop enough to have it work. So maybe I stop life support here because there's nothing there. Stop life support here. Agroponics. Oh, here we go. Agroponics load. It doesn't say missing waste anymore. What? Now I'm really confused. If I say start life support, missing waste. Agroponics, 187% load. Okay. And you notice I had to do that again. I had to go into time acceleration again. Even though there's no SAS on, no flight computer, no MechJeb, no none of that, I still had to do it. So I don't think that's it. And I don't think it's the reaction wheels either, because if it was the reaction wheels and I turned them all off, well, here, let's just turn them all off. Why isn't it? Am I not going 1 times speed yet? Idle. Yeah, no, I want to toggle them. Why doesn't it have the option to do that? Huh? 1 times speed. Toggle torque. Disabled. And then toggle torque. Disabled. No, it's this one I want. Come on, click it. There we go. Okay, so all that's there. All that's idle. All of the reaction wheels are completely off. The whole craft. There's no, reaction wheels are just flat out off. Okay? They don't exist on this craft right now. It's as if there are no reaction wheels at all. And look at it go. It's starting already. Back and forth. Go to time acceleration, come out of time acceleration, and it's going to do it again. It's just going to keep doing it. So I don't think that's it. I mean, I wanted it to be it. I really did. But I just don't know if that's it. But again, it's just going to keep doing it. So I'm going to have to do the strut idea. I think that's probably the only on this, is that I'm going to have to do the strut idea. Yeah, so anyway, we're looking pretty good with our station now. The supplies keep going up. And you can see that, well, the times keep going up. But really, the supply doesn't go down. The carbon dioxide supply is not building. Waste and wastewater are not building. Food, water, and oxygen are not depleting. They're not going. I mean, everything is fine. So we have a fairly, I guess, in a way, very self-sufficient station, orbital station around Kerbin for 10 Kerbals to live here if they want to, and they are. I've added a few slots down here just so I can see more people at a time. That looks pretty good. Let's see if we can make sure. I need to make sure that there's all the scientists we need are in the science vessel here. So, because we're going to be bringing up the quarks, we're going to be bringing up the experiments and stuff for them to start doing science. Since they've got everything here in place, we can start doing that. And while they're doing that, and while they're managing the science stuff, we're going to be bringing up some more stuff to the station. I think I'm going to bring up the fuel. I'm running low on money now, though, so I need to start considering doing some stuff for contracts. So I'm going to start doing some contracts too. I might do those off camera. I don't want to. I want to record as many episodes as I can, and I'm not saying I want Conquering Kerbal Space Program to be like 2,000 episodes or anything, but I want to record them so I can like upload them more regularly. The problem is limited time to play, and on top, I'm just gonna, you know what? I'm just gonna put this thing in time acceleration because honestly, I don't want to deal with the flipping around. So I'm gonna leave it in 2 times time acceleration. Which is actually 5 times, but whatever. That way it just stays on rails, and that's fine with me. So I want to record more regularly, but the problem with Kerbal Space Program is that, especially career mode, you kind of have to do contracts and stuff, and not every contract is very interesting to look at. Is this the front of the panels? Yeah, those are the solar panels, so this should be fine. I just want to make sure we're not going to run out of electricity, which looks like we're fine there too. So. Anyway, guys, yeah. So I have to do contracts and stuff to stay in it, and not all of those are interesting. So I kind of try to do those off camera, which means that the limited time I have to play is not necessarily time that I'm recording anyway. So there's going to be more prison. I know I say that Kerbal Space Program is the main video on this channel, and it absolutely is. It's the main series in terms of my time. It's absolutely the main series, but there's probably going to be more videos for Prison Architect than there are for Kerbal going forward in the near future, just because it takes a lot longer to do stuff here to get videos out to you. If I was able to make videos full time, if I was able to do like YouTube full time, first off, oh my God, I would be happy. But also, that would enable me to do a lot more because I could spend an entire day on Kerbal if I wanted to and bang out 3 episodes, edit them together, and I would have like, you know, I could upload 4 Kerbal episodes a week, you know, 5 episodes a week. I could go back to the way it was when the series was in the beginning, when there wasn't a whole lot of planning and a lot of big things involved, where I could release 1 a day. You know, I could do that. If I was able to do YouTube full time, I could totally release 1 episode a day of Kerbal. I probably could, but I can't. So that's just the way it is. So the episodes of the other game that take a lot less time to do, like a half hour to record, about 10 minutes worth of editing, let my computer compress it out and upload it. Everything else is automatic. So like 40 minutes to 50 minutes of time for 1 episode of Prison Architect, 3 hours, 4 hours for this one, for here. I'm done complaining now. Life support's looking good. Everything's looking fine. I had someone ask me on Facebook, I think it was. I had someone ask me like last week, you know, how can I support you? And the only thing I had for them was like, I don't have a Patreon or anything like that. I don't upload enough videos to justify that. But like the only thing I could tell them was like, you know, turn your ad block off when you watch my videos. That's the only way you could do it. Like, whatever. Anyway, that's all I have to say about that. If you like the video, give me a big thumbs up and a like. Be sure to comment down below if you want to say something awesome or tell me that I suck and my station is way overkill, because it probably is right now. And there's even more to go. Yeah, subscribe if you're not already, if you like the series and you want more videos. That would be the way to get notified of it. My name is Charlie. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.